Hey everyone, so let's get started. And as I mentioned before, we do want to start moving a little faster in this one. And so we're gonna just have a few things set in place before we start actually knocking down some of our use cases. So first thing that I want to do in this video is that I want to go to the actions, and then I want to go to the types. And we're gonna start talking about the types that are related to the backlog. Types for backlog actions. Okay, so we're just gonna do a little bit of copy paste here, and we're gonna do it with care. All right, and then I'm gonna use my Command D trick, which please go check how you do it in Windows if you're interested. And then the first thing that we want to do, that we're gonna be the first action that we're gonna be wiring up here, not in the video series, but here is get backlog. Okay, that's going to be basically when we get all of our tasks. Then the next one, it's going to be to get individual project task. And then the last one that we're going to wire up is going to be to delete a project task. Okay, and we're not adding an add project task because remember, what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna follow the same design pattern that we had for creating a project, in which we're gonna navigate to a different window that's gonna render a form, and then we're gonna submit, and then that's going to refresh our backlog, which is the one that's going to call the or it's the one that's going to update the state. We're not going to update our state when we submit a new project task. Okay, so again, yes, you have that option, but right now I really don't want to go down that path. Maybe that might be a few maybe that's going to be like bonus lectures that I'm going to include once we're done with this course, right? Because that's actually a very interesting use case, but we're not doing that just now. Okay, so then the other thing that we want to do is that we want to create the backlog reducer. And remember, in the last React section, we did this a little more step by step. But at this point, you should be familiar with it, with everything that we're doing, and you should feel comfortable with me doing it this way. And we're just gonna, pre-wire some things so that we can move faster. Okay, so now that we have this, we're gonna import, and we're going to open here or set a. We're gonna put a set of curly braces there, and then we're going to import this from our actions, and then types, obviously. And then the types that we wanna import, we already know about. Basically, get backlog, get project task when we're updating, and then delete project task. Okay, good. All right, so let me just make sure that everything looks fine. Yeah, it looks good. And anyway, if we run the server and we get an error, then we'll fix it, but it looks good. Okay, so as always, reducer has an initial state. Again, this is no news to you guys. You should be okay. You should understand what I'm doing here. Project tasks. Okay, so our initial state is basically going to be the array of project tasks, and it's going to be our single project task, which in this use case is going to be when we load our project task for updating. Okay, then we're going to do export default function, and we're going to pass it our state, our initial state, and then we're going to pass it the action that we might be taking at a given time. Here we're going to obviously wrap this on a switch, and then obviously we're going to extract the action type. Okay, and as always, our default action is going to be to just return the state. Okay, so now let's start wiring up the rest of the actions. So once we're done with the complete with the add project task, once we're able to add project tasks into our project, then we're going to do the first case that we're going to work on is obviously to get the backlog. No, what am I doing? My apologies. Get backlog, and this is going to return obviously the state, and then and then it's going to return the project tasks. Okay, action payload. If you remember correctly, basically this is what we pass from the action to the reducer once everything goes well. Then we're going to do the other case, which is going to be the get project task, which returns the state as well, and then the project task, the single project task that we were trying to look for. Okay, action dot payload. Perfect. All right, then the next one's going to be the delete project task. Okay, and this one's going to return the state for now. And if you remember when we were doing the when we were working on the on deleting the project, basically we were filtering out the project that we're deleting. We're going to do exactly the same thing here, but this one I really want to wire up when we get to this part, just because I really want you guys to understand or have more context of what it is that we're doing there. The other ones are really easy, right? Like, you know that when we do the API call, we load whatever we get from the API call. Same here, so that's very straightforward. But here, I know that there's a little bit more logic involved. So that's why I don't want to just do some code out of context. All right. So this is basically our initial setup. Then on the next lecture, we are going to just perhaps work on a little bit of the UI side, which I'm still working on the designs, by the way. We're going to work on a little bit on the UI side, make sure that we load the forms, that we load the project board, that we can navigate to it using React Router. And then we're going to start working on our first backlog action, which is going to be to create a project task in the right project. Right? That's it for it. Thank you for now. Thank you.